Let's talk about God's pruning season and how God removes only to add. Um, it's a lesson that is my biggest lesson right now in life. There's been a lot of people over the past, I would say like 3-4 years that I've had to remove in my life, all in different timings, all for different reasons. Um, each of those people that I've removed from my life, they've all taught me something, and I am very grateful for the experience that I had with them. However, I knew when it was time for me to let those people go. I knew when it was time for me to let certain situations go. And because I wanted to hold on to this version of them that I saw within my head, or this experience that I was having with them, or this feeling that I was having with them, I neglected that discernment, and I neglected that intuition that I had that was like, hey, I need you to remove these people because they can't go where you're going. And one thing that I think, God, the divine, the Most High, has been putting on my mind very heavily is that, He's going to remove things. I mean, things are going to happen that are outside of our control, but if something in your intuition is telling you this is what's going to make you feel better, this is what's going to, push you to be the person that you want to be or experience what you want to experience, even when it's uncomfortable and even when it's hard, that's when you should do it. I feel like as humans, we do get very emotional, and we do, allow ourselves to kind of gain attachment to things and people and places and experiences that we had. And in the midst of doing that, you tend to neglect what you need. And you tend to not have that attachment for yourself, I feel like, and the attachment to the boundaries that you should have with yourself. And I really believe that when God is calling us in a season of pruning, in a season of letting go and releasing, it's meant for us to clear the pathway so that whenever God starts bringing in the things that we were asking for, that we really deserve, we can sit back and actually be fully appreciative of it and fully grateful for it. Just over the past couple months, the friends that have been coming into my life, I literally will cry on the phone with them and just cry about how grateful I am for them, and to be able to experience them, because we take for granted just the basis of just a human connection, and people that really see you and understand you and want what's best for you at all times and can call you out on your crap and not be in a malicious way, but because I love you and I want to help you. But that's who God is. That's who Jesus Christ is. I love you and I want to help you. So I'm going to give you these tools, and I'm going to remove these people away, because you don't see what they're saying behind closed doors. You don't see that, you have all these dreams and all these imaginations and all these things, and you're telling this person, and they're behind closed doors like they can't do that. There's no, they just keep talking about what they're going to do, and they're not going to do that. So it's be very mindful of who you allow in your space, who you continue to take up mind space. You know what I'm saying? I feel like God puts us in uncomfortable situations to prepare us for situations that, I guess, how would you say, to prepare us for situations that will shape us into who, we were always meant to be. There's situations and trials that, we will go through, we'll experience, but I think when you see that God's not really taking anything away, but he's just adding more room for you to actually enjoy the blessings that you're asking him for you to actually, strive in the environment that you're asking him for. Because you can't ask hey, God, I want to go freaking climb Mount Everest, and you haven't been training and practicing and tried to climb another mountain that isn't even the same. You have to climb other little tiny mountains before you get to that big mountain that God says, this is the mountain that I've been preparing you for your whole life. Every single thing that you've gone through from ABC to XYZ is what is getting you to where I need you to get to. So I think the more that you start trusting that God isn't doing things to you in a way that is a punishment, especially when things get hard. Like for me, like sometimes, like this past week, like I was crying because I'm like, I feel like, I'm doing things, but then I keep hitting walls, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, God, what am I not doing? And I got directed to go to Job, and I believe it's in Job 5, either Job 5 or 6. And it's talking about how, Job is complaining, and he's just like, basically Job just feels like all this is happening to me, like I'm being punished, and like, but I haven't done, like all his family's asking him, like, what have you done? Like they're basically looking at Job like he's doing something wrong. And one thing that I would say is that people will not understand the path that you're on except for you and God. So when you're trying to talk to friends, especially friends that do not have your best interest in mind about what your goals are, what you want your achievements to be, how you want your life to look like, and they don't have that vision because it's not their vision, it makes it really, really hard for God to put you in an environment to actually strive there. It makes it really hard for God to be like, hey, so I want to actually put you here, and you're just worried about, this shack over here. God says, I have a penthouse for you, and you're worried about the shack in the middle of the woods. Let's think about cognitively how that makes sense. So when you put your full trust in God and just say, you know what, Jesus, take the wheel. Take it. Like I have nothing else. I have nothing else that I can do in this moment except for to take it. When your friends are dropping like flies, like they're nowhere to be found. When opportunities, you have to make them. You have to create them, because no one else is gonna just sit there and hand it to you. Like when you're hitting blocks and roadblocks in the road and walls that are just being put up in front of you like the freaking maze runner, like when life starts to feel like that, when life starts to feel uncomfortable, that is exactly when you need to put your full faith and trust in God. And it's much easier said than done. Believe me, I know it is much easier said than done. But the other side of it, as you keep walking through that tunnel and you start seeing those peaks of light and you start seeing those little blessings, because all of the little changes that you've made along the way, all of the people that God has removed from your life and the situations that God has removed from your life and the ones that he has added in and the people he's added in, you start to see the bigger picture of why God does what God does. The more that you trust that every single thing that has happened to you is made for you, not against you. Every single thing. And, I'm going to kind of cut this video a little short today because I just wanted to post it. I just wanted to put something out there because I'm in a pruning season. I'm in a season of just trusting God and just really believing that, he has my back, and everything and every plan that, I want for myself, that he wants for me, is going to come. But you just have to keep trusting. You have to keep believing, even when people in your corner and that are around you don't believe in you. The people that are meant for you and the people that love you and truly 100% care for you no matter what will always be there. It doesn't matter how crazy your idea sounds, how crazy your life looks. If people really unconditionally love you just the way that God and Jesus Christ love you, you never have to question whether what you're doing is okay. Ask God. Don't go to other people. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that everyone has a very beautiful week. Whenever you're seeing this, you have a very beautiful day, a beautiful night. Thank you so much for even watching to this part. Please join the community. I will have a bunch of like guest speakers coming, just talking just like this. Just building a community and building healing and building truth and growth and harmony. So please subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.